Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A very pleasant evening to you. Come to you live from the National News Studio. Welcome to the news. I'm Clifford Richards.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
A 10-day Sri Dalada Dakma exhibition starting from the 18th of next month. Island-wide distribution of fuel as usual. 2 suspects arrested on the Keith Noya abduction case. A foreign travel ban against former IGP Deshabandhu. The Sri Lanka Air Force gallantly commemorates its 74th anniversary. A 16-year-old student on a railway track using a mobile phone knocked down by an oncoming train. 37 passengers killed in a bus collision in Bolivia. Chamo De Silva of the Sri Lanka Police wins the overall championship in the Air Force Cycle Tour.
We now move on to those and other stories in detail, taking a look at local news first. Diyavadana Nilame of the Sri Dalada Maligava, Pradeepa Nilanga Dala says a 10-day public viewing of the sacred tooth relic will be held at the Sri Dalada Maligava in Kandy on the 18th of April.
Well, the sacred exposition of the relics is named as Sri Dalada Dakma. A Sri Dalada exhibition was conducted for the last time during the period 6th to 16th of March 2009. Accordingly, Sri Dalada exhibition is to be conducted after a lapse of 16 years. President Andrew Kumar Dissanayake has started and stated in Kandy on the 23rd of last month that a special Dalada exhibition is to be conducted for the general public after the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. The President also engaged in discussions with the Mahanayaka Theras of the Malwathu and Askari chapters in this regard. An agreement has been reached on the conducting of the exhibition through mediation of the Governor, District Secretary, other government officials and Diyavadana Nilame. Diyavadana Nilame, Pradeep Langadala, says that it has been decided that a special exposition of the sacred tooth relic will be held at the Sri Dalada Maligava in Kandy on April 18 from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. followed by a 10-day public viewing from April 19 to 28 between 12 noon and 5:30 p.m. daily. Preliminary discussions regarding the holding of the Sri Dalada exhibition was conducted at the President's house in Kandy today under the leadership of President Andrew Kumar Dissanayake. The President on this occasion has extended thanks to the Mahanayaka Theras for allowing the Buddhist public in the country to worship the sacred relics. The President said that millions of people are expected to venerate the sacred relics. Safeguarding the health of the participating public and the enforcement of security are prime concerns of the government. The responsibility of the government is to allow citizens to worship the sacred tooth relic without any inconvenience. The Anunayaka of the Askari chapter, the Venerable Venerue Upalithera, says that the President of the country has taken the leadership for the first time in organizing the sacred exposition, and the occurrence of such an incident is in the past not come into mind. All blessings are extended for the successful conducting of this meritorious act. The President said that a new revival on the discipline, law and order and religion is essential. The Sri Dalada Dakma exhibition will have to be utilized to create a fresh Buddhist revival in the country. The exhibition should become an initial measure to restore the country's heritage, civilization, discipline and cultural values of the nation. People in the country commence their work during the new year through anointing oil in a similar manner. Program to redirect the country to a new direction could be considered as an extension of the new year. Sri Lanka should make this opportunity for social transformation which extends beyond mere social rituals. The President further says that the Dalada exposition comes the Vesak festival and it is expected to usher an entire change in the society through Buddhist revival activities.
According to our correspondent, the island-wide distribution of fuel is being conducted as per normal conditions. Routine distribution of fuel from the Kolanava installation could be witnessed today also. Although Sunday is a holiday, a large number of tankers had arrived at Kolanava installation of the Sri Lanka Petroleum Corporation in order to transport fuel. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Petroleum Corporation, Janaka Rajakaruna, explained that during yesterday, fuel twice the amount on normal days was released since the public had used more fuel yesterday. The corporation decided to continue distribution on Sunday also due to this reason. Today alone, 1,500 orders had been placed and island-wide distribution is being continued with these orders. The chairman pointed out that the Monday's requirement of fuel is being distributed right now. Certain quarters are trying to project and publicize that there is a possibility of a shortage of fuel on Monday. But with the distribution of these stocks of fuel, it will be sufficient for Tuesday too. He added that the people should not panic at all regarding the supply of fuel. It has also been reported that fuel is being distributed without any obstacle from filling stations in Colombo and surrounding areas. The distribution of fuel in the outstations is also being carried out as per normal routine. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jatasa responded to a question raised by media persons today regarding the distribution of fuel. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jatasa observed that queues are being created along with rumours that there will be an increase in the prices of fuel. The people panicked since certain opposition parliamentarians surfaced this issue unnecessarily, and due to this situation, queues were formed at several places. The minister pointed out that there is no problem at all in the distribution of fuel, and the courts have also ordered to implement their decisions in this regard. There are a large number of filling station owners who were parliamentarians and ministers, and the previous cabinet did not take any action due to this reason. Certain parliamentarians joined the government with the aim of receiving filling station permits, and the people know who the real owners of these filling stations are. He added that politicians are linked to this situation. Former cabinet ministers kept silent since they were receiving commissions from it, despite the people losing an amount of 37 million rupees. The distributors can discuss regarding a fair amount of commission with the corporation. In the meantime, Managing Director of Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, Myra Nethikumarage, says that there is no shortage of fuel and no disturbance in the distribution of fuel. Certain quarters are trying to create a chaotic situation and thus to put the general public into inconvenience. He also said that the public should not at all have any doubt regarding the availability and distribution of fuel in the country.
Typically CPC and CPST, that is Ceylon Petroleum Corporation and Ceylon Petroleum Storage Terminal, do not operate on Sunday. However, in response to the increase in demand caused by the disruptive actions of certain fuel station owners, our team made an extraordinary effort to ensure an uninterrupted fuel supply. It is important to note that these fuel station owners who have given voicecast to the media are not the part of CPC fuel station network. They operate under different marketing companies. So yesterday and today we delivered excessive quantities. So basically normal day we are selling around 5,000 to 7,000 maximum. But yesterday we sold Lanka Auto Diesel 9,500 and Lanka Petrol 92 9,256. So basically, it's excessive demand and we already delivered. And today also we delivered the most of the tomorrow quantity. It's important to note that the fuel station owners are not the part of the same union. Many dealers have directly communicated to the CPC, expressing their support to the both CPC and the new government. They have strongly condemned the action of the small group causing this disruption. So we believe that now the situation is normal and we have delivered the quantities which is allocated for the Monday as well. So ensuring the most fuel stations will stop, and our team is on standby, ready to commence the delivery at any time, even in the night. So there is no any stock issues in the country, and now most of the fuel stations are full with the product.
According to the Department of Meteorology, most places in the island may experience rains today as well.
In fact, heavy rains of about 75 millimeters can be expected in the western, Sabaragamu, southern and Ua provinces, and also in the Ampar, Matale and Nuwara and also Kurunegala districts as well. Well, the Met Department says that there will be some kind of respite in the rainy weather from next Tuesday. The Met Department officials on duty Srimal Herat says that the present rainy weather condition in the island may witness a respite after 2 days. Intermittent rain will occur in the southern and Uva provinces and in the Polonnaru district today and tomorrow. Several rounds of rain is expected in the northern province and also in Anuradhapura district. Intermittent showers or thunder showers might occur during evening or other areas of the island. Army personnel were able to rescue 35 persons who were trapped due to the rising water levels in Hirikatuoya and Non-Peril due to heavy rains yesterday. A group of 75 local tourists were on their way from Kolonnaur area to Non-Peril had to face this unexpected situation. A quick response from the Gamma Watch personnel of Non-Peril camp were able to rescue those people successfully. All 10 sluice gates of the Kantale tank have been opened due to heavy rains. It releases a volume of 1,600 cubic feet of water per second to the Varnala. Two sluice gates of the Kaudula reservoir have been opened. A volume of 500 cubic feet of water per second is being released to the Kaudula from the reservoir. A correspondent reported that 6 sluice gates of the Ulhitia Ratkinda Mahavira reservoir in Girandrakote have been opened due to incessant rain.
Two suspects were arrested yesterday by the Criminal Investigation Department over the investigations into the abduction and assault of journalist Keith Noyer. The suspects were arrested in the Navagattegama and Alepattua police divisions. The arrested suspects are 42 and 46-year-old retired soldiers attached to the Army Intelligence Unit and residents of the Navagattegama and Ulukkulama. The arrests have been made in connection with the abduction and assault of journalist Keith Noyer near his home in Vaidya Road, Dahiwala in 2008. The two former officials of the Intelligence Division arrested in this regard were produced before the Mount Lavina Magistrate Courts today. The court had ordered to release the two suspects on a surety bail of 1 million rupees each. The Sri Lanka Air Force gallantly celebrates its 74th anniversary today.
Well, a special commemorative ceremony was held in line with the traditions of the Sri Lanka Air Force commander in Chief Air Marshal Bandhu Edrisinghe has presided over the event held at the Sri Lanka Air Force headquarters. With the theme Guardian of the Skies, Sri Lanka Air Force has rendered services in various capacities through its 74-year existence as the youngest of the Sri Lanka's armed forces to safeguard the territorial integrity of the motherland. It has been discharging its duties and obligations with maximum dedication on behalf of the motherland. The Sri Lanka Air Force has rendered a substantial contribution in rescuing the general public in natural disasters, fulfilling its task as a permanent guardian of the country's airspace. The nation's protector of the skies is preparing to continue with its over 7 decades of undaunted task under the direction of the present Air Force commander. The SLAF was guided under the direction of 20 Air Force chiefs during its heroic history. Air Force Commander Air Marshal Bandhu Edrisinghe has extended his heartfelt gratitude to all previous Air Force commanders and officers of all ranks and civil employees who had sacrificed their lives and energies, and also those who became disabled in action to overcome 30 years of brutal terrorism.
මේ දේශයේ ඕනෑම අවශ්‍යතාවයක් වෙනුවෙන් නිස්සරණාධ්‍යාශයෙන් පෙනී සිටීමට පදනම් විරහිතව කැපවෙන තාක්ෂණික හමුදාවක්. සිය මෙහෙයුම් සත්‍යතාවයේ පුළුල් පරාසීය ගවේෂණාත්මක ප්‍රවේශයන් මතින් සිය අභිමානයේ වසර 74ක සංවත්සරික සැමරුම මෙසේ සමරන වකන.
Well, this is in line with the 74th anniversary celebrations of the Air Force. Chamo De Silva, of course, of the Sri Lanka Police, has become the overall winner in the 26th Air Force Cycle Tour.
The winner in the third day's event of the race was Saranga Pereira of the Sri Lanka Army. A special feature of the women's race conducted in parallel to this event was the Sri Lankan Air Force competitors winning all first, second and third places. The Air Force Cycle Tour was organised in connection with the 74th anniversary celebrations of the Sri Lanka Air Force. The men's competition was conducted throughout 3 days, and third day's event got underway in front of the plant quarantine department premises in Gannorua. Today's distance of the tour was 155.2 kilometres. The cyclists have reached Gaul Road passing Peradeniya, Katugastota, Mawatagama, Kurunagala, Narammala, Giriyulla, Pannala, Kochikade, Katunayaka, Wattala via Paliyakuda and Maradana. The races ended in front of the Golfers Green. Saranga Pereira was a winner in the third day's race. The second place was secured by Sachin Tapiumal representing the Sri Lanka Ports Authority. Prabhash Madhushankar of the Sri Lanka Navy has clinched the third place.
මෙන්න අංක 6 මදුසංක පෙරේරා නියෝජනය කරන ක්‍රීඩක අපි බලමු මේ දෙවනි පුකර දෝකියා
සරංග පෙරේරා සමරින්දේක අභියෝගාත්මක ධාවනයක් ලංකාවේ ප්‍රමුඛ පෙළ බොහෝ සරංකරුවන් සිටි මේ සටනේ ඒ කීසිලෙක් තාපසු සමීපවලවත් ඉඩකඩක් ලබන රෝදෙමින් තුන්වන ආදියර ජයග්‍රහකයා කාන්දුතරණයේ ශූරයා දෙවන ආදියරේ දෙවන ස්ථානයේ හිමිකම් කියන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා නාවික හමුදාවේ අංක
The distance of today's women's cycle race was 89.3 kilometers. The race had started from Mirigama in the morning, and the competitors were proceeding via Giriyulla, Pannala, Sadalankawa, Kochikade, Katunayaka, Jayala and Wattala via Paliyakuda, and thereafter they were passing Maradana, and race came to a conclusion in front of the Golfers Green. The first place was secured by Dinesh Adilruchi of the Sri Lanka Air Force. Two other SLAF competitors, Panchali Sulochana and Sudarika Pridarshini, have secured the second and third places respectively. Presentation of prizes to the winners of the cycle tour took place this evening. The Best Youth Rider Award was presented to Harindu Meemanage of the Sri Lanka Army. Saranga Pereira of the Sri Lanka Army has won both awards of Sprint Champion and Champion of Mountain Cycling. The Sri Lanka Air Force women's team has won the overall championship trophy of the event. The men's overall champions were the Sri Lanka Army. Dinesh Adilruchi of Sri Lanka Air Force was adjudged as the winner of the overall women's race. The overall men's championship trophy was secured by Chamod De Silva of the Sri Lanka Police. ChannelEye of the national television was the official media sponsor of this year's Air Force cycling tour as well.
ලංකාවේ ප්‍රබලම තරංකරුවෙක් මෙවර ගුවන් හමුදා පාපති සවාරියේ සමස්ත කිරුළ හිමිකම් කියන්නේ චමෝද් සිල්වා කුසලාන සහ සාතික පත්‍ර මේ මොහොතේදී චමෝද් පිළිගැන්වෙන වගායි.
We continue with more news at home. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri says that the government believes economic as well as the cultural revival is extremely important for the country heading for renaissance. She further points out that the sense of togetherness as demonstrated in a pageant is an essential factor in the creation of a transformed country, and the Prime Minister made these remarks participating in the commencement of the parading of the Raigampura Nawam Mahaperahera of the Horana Rajamahawihara last night. Well, this pageant was organized for the second occasion. Many public representatives, including Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, were also present on this occasion. The Premier has also expressed opinion regarding the changes to be made in transforming the country into a new era. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri says that the challenge faced by them today is to lead a country which is in the pitfall of devastation towards renaissance. She added that cultural and spiritual revival is also extremely important factors that contribute to rejuvenation. The aim of the government is to create a thriving nation and a beautiful life. The future wish of the country is to create a united nation which exemplifies its religious and cultural artistic abilities.
සංස්කෘතික කලාත්මක හැකියාවන් එකට එළි දැක්විය හැකි එක් බිමක් නිර්මාණය කිරීම
The event was conducted under the patronage of the chief incumbent, the Venerable Madhuravali Sobhita Thera of the Horana Rajamahawihare. Placing of the casket of the sacred relics was conducted through the participation of the Prime Minister and Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa. Nearly 40 elephants, including tuskers, took part in the pageant, which was highlighted with several more cultural features as well.
Mathura Magistrate Courts has imposed a foreign travel ban on former IGP Deshabandhu Tennakon, who has been issued a warrant for arrest. The decision has been taken following a request made by the Criminal Investigation Department officials from the judiciary. Mathura Magistrate Courts has recently ordered the arrest of 6 suspects, including former IGP Deshabandhu Tennakon, and to produce them before the courts. The order has been made in connection with a shooting incident that took place in Homagama in 2023. The CID officials who had reached and searched houses in Hokandara and Kirula alleged to have been owned by former acting IGP were unable to find his whereabouts. It has been reported that on the 31st of December 2023, a group who came in a white van to a hotel in Homagama was engaged in a shooting, and a group of police officials at the Homagama police station who also came to the location was engaged in retaliatory shooting. In the incident, 2 persons in the van were reported to have been shot, and one of them died upon admission to hospital. Thereafter, it was revealed that a group of officials of the Colombo Crime Division was in the van. It has also been disclosed that the deceased was a police sergeant. Taking into consideration the findings of a magisterial inquiry and on the post-mortem report, the Mathura Magistrate Courts had delivered a verdict on the 27th of last month. According to the decision, it had been found out that directing the Colombo Crime Division officials to the location was not conducted in a legal manner. Accordingly, the verdict of the judiciary had been that former IGP and high-ranking officials were responsible for sending the victim to the scene of crime. The court is also ordered to arrest 6 suspects, including Deshabandhu Tennakon, and to produce them before the courts.
The COPE committee points out that it is clear that the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau, established for the purpose of the regulatory activities, has acted in a form of a business. Well, these points have been revealed when the COPE committee assembled in Parliament recently and ordered to inspect the current efficiency and also to review the 2022 and 2023 Auditor General's report, that's of the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau. Well, it has been revealed that the Bureau had incurred a training loss of 631,170,650 rupees due to sending 28,165 housemaids to foreign countries without providing them proper residential training. It has also come to light that 683 underage employees had been sent to foreign countries for domestic service from May 2023 to June 2024. It has also been revealed that 30 commercial stalls at the rate of 170,000 rupees each for a program held in Galle district, and a sum of 500,000 rupees had been paid as rent for a similar commercial stall for a program in Jaffna district. In the meantime, a total sum of 1.2 billion rupees has been spent for the Jayagama Sri Lanka program, and according to officials, payments have been conducted in this regard by following proper procedure.
A chaotic situation has been arisen when a former provincial council member was to inaugurate a Navaseva Piazza which had been constructed in a government land at Jayasingamawatha, Kodagama, Homagama. It was to be handed over to the public on the 13th of this month, but the residents of the area alleged that the provincial council member had tried to inaugurate it illegally. The former provincial councillor had taken steps to fix a name board of former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa by removing the present name board of the Navaseva Piazza. Newgada police officials who reached the spot when the residents informed about this incident took the former provincial council member into custody.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that a continuous 3-year program on nutrition will be implemented that's for the health of the public. The minister made these observations taking part in a march that was organized today on the occasion of the World Obesity Day. Well, the march by the Institution of Consultant Doctors and Nutritionists in Sri Lanka commenced from the Vihar Mahadevi Park in Colombo this morning. The theme, Get Rid of Obesity and Prevent Communicable Diseases. Later on, the march ended by returning to the Vihar Mahadevi Park, passing through Lipton Roundabout and the municipality premises. A special program was later on for the public awareness as well.
Train accidents in 2 locations in the island had cost the lives of 2 persons today. One of the victims was a school child. 16-year-old student was killed in collision with a train heading to Beliatta from Anuradhapura. The accident took place at a location in between the Karittakande rail gate and the Kandegoda railway station in Ambalangoda. The police says the student had met with the accident while walking on the railway track using a mobile phone. The victim has been identified as a student of Mahinda College, Gaul, who was scheduled to sit for the upcoming ordinary level examination. The casualty of the other train accident was a 46-year-old father of the 2 children in Galvaduava, Shravastapura. The victim was reported to have hit the Yal Devi train plying between Colombo and Kankesanture near the Shravastipura railway station. Well, that's it on local stories. We'll be back with news overseas.
You can make a difference.
Welcome back to the news, and we move on to news overseas. Well, into Bolivia. A crash involving 2 buses in Bolivia left at least 37 people dead and dozens injured in the western Polsori region.
Police and local authorities said on Saturday that the accident happened during the early morning hours on the route between the cities of Uyuni and Colchani when one of the vehicles swerved into the oncoming lane. As a result of this fatal accident, we have 39 people injured in 4 hospitals in the town of Uyuni and 37 people have lost their lives. Police personnel are working to identify people who were killed and those who were injured and hospitalized, the spokesperson added. Welcome back, and we move on to sports news now. The Sri Lanka Army and Kandy teams have been successful in securing victories in the 2 matches of the Inter-Club League Rugby tournament played yesterday.
And this tournament has been organized by the Sri Lanka Rugby Association. The match between Sri Lanka Army and the Sri Lions team was played at the Colombo Racecourse grounds. At the end of the first half, Sri Lions team was leading 16-12. However, the Army team had not left an opportunity for the Sri Lions team to collect a point in the second half. The Army team has increased its tally by a further 23 points, making the final score 35-60. The winners have been scoring their points through 3 goals, a try and 3 penalties.
The Kandy team beat the Air Force team 50-17 in another match played at the Ratmalana Air Force grounds. At the end of the first half, the score was 31-5 in favour of the Kandy team. The victorious team scored their points through 6 goals, a try and a penalty.
Meanwhile, police secures a victory against CHFC team at the match played at the Colombo Racecourse grounds. The police was leading 22-8 at the end of the first half, and the final score was 25-15 in the favour of the police team. The winners have registered 3 tries and a penalty. Well, a lot of rugby action. It's time to end the news. Do enjoy the rest of the programs. Together with Sherifa, this is Clifford, wishing you a good night.
Good night.